Welcome back to our channel. Today we're gonna make pasta with bechamel sauce. Here we have ground beef, some pasta, chopped onions, flour, and we have our salt and pepper and some milk. We're gonna do a new type of bechamel sauce. It's a different way of putting it. So now we're heating up the milk. So now we're gonna mix together the flour and the milk before we add it to the milk that's heating up on the stove. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn it off because of the noise from the blender. Now that the milk is heating up, we're gonna add some butter. Melted butter. Usually we do this type of bechamel sauce for people who don't want to eat a lot of fatty food, so we don't put this recipe would use less butter than the usual bechamel butter. Now we're adding our milk with flour to the heated up milk with butter, and we're stirring until it gets a little thicker. It's still, it's gonna take a little bit of time, about 2-3 minutes of stirring. So we'll come back when it becomes a little thicker, okay? Okay, now we're back. It's thickening up. You can see it's getting thicker and thicker. In this recipe we also add eggs. We forgot to add it to the ingredients, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the bechamel sauce to cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna beat up a couple of eggs and add it to the mixture. But we have to wait until it cools down because otherwise it would cook the eggs, okay? Now we're making our ground beef. We put the butter in, and we're gonna stir some chopped onions in there. We're going to keep stirring until it becomes a little tender and colored. Okay, so here is our onions. They're soft, a little softer now, so we're going to add our ground beef to it. Let's add that in. We're making 2 big pans today. That's why we're using a lot of ingredients. And then we're going to stir until the meat is almost fully cooked. So now we're adding a little bit of tomato paste. Now that the beef is already almost fully cooked. This is, you know, it's up to you. If you don't want to add that, you don't have to, but we like to add a little bit of paste. And now we're adding some salt and pepper. About 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of black pepper. And now we're mixing. eggs to put on the bechamel sauce. We might add salt and pepper, right? Just a little pinch of salt and pepper. Now we're going to add it to the bechamel sauce. We're just getting the whisker so we can mix it together, or some spoon or something. Here we go. The eggs helps to give the bechamel sauce a little color when we're cooking it in the oven. We'll show you the end results when we're done. We usually like to make it a little thicker than usual because when you put it on top of the pasta, if it's not as thick, it would drip. It would drip in between the pasta. But if it's thick, then it helps stays up and gives it a little color and makes it look much better. And our bechamel sauce is done. This is the type of pasta we use. Usually it's the best one we have around in our area. And now we're gonna add the pasta to the water. We're using 2 bags today because we're making 2 big pans. So that's why we're using more ingredients than usual. Every pan would take only 1 bag of pasta. Now we're adding some butter to the bottom of the pan so the pasta and the bechamel sauce won't stick to the pan. That we're done with the pasta, it's fully cooked. We just drained it a little bit and put a little bit of cold water on it. And now we're gonna start making our pans. We're gonna add a little bit of bechamel sauce to the pasta. And then we'll put 1 layer of pasta mixed with bechamel sauce, and then 1 layer of meat, the ground meat that we made earlier. And then we add another layer of pasta with bechamel, and then we cover it all with the bechamel sauce. So here we're adding just a little bit of the bechamel. Again, today we're making 2 big pans, that's why we're using bigger portions. For every pan, we use a full bag of pasta or box of pasta. Some people add cheese to the bechamel sauce, but we're trying to make it less fatty, so we didn't add cheese. And if you want, you can use fat-free milk. We usually use the 2%. And now that we're done with mixing all the bechamel to the pasta, we're gonna start layering our pans. This is the first layer. We put some butter at the bottom so the pasta won't stick to the bottom of the pan. And now we can add our ground beef. A little 1 layer of ground beef. You can put as much beef as you want. We don't like it too beefy. And you can also make it with zucchini instead of pasta, so it would be more healthier when you're adding vegetables to it. We'll make that video with the zucchini and bechamel sauce sometime, and we'll post it soon. So now we finished adding the second layer, which is the beef layer. And now we're gonna add some more pasta and bechamel sauce. It's 3 layers, and the 4th layer is a layer of bechamel. Now we're gonna add our last layer of bechamel. And here we go, and that's why we need it to be thick. So we cover it up and give it a little color when it's cooked in the oven. Because if it's not as thick, it would melt in between the pasta, and there wouldn't be like a covered up layer for the pasta. Pasta covered completely, and then we put it in the oven. Can't wait to taste this. We'll go make our second pan, and we'll be back when it's cooked. Thank you for watching. We're adding our second pan into the oven. It's gonna be on 350 for about half an hour. Here is the final look to our pasta with bechamel sauce. You see how the bechamel sauce is colored. In a few minutes we'll just cut it into pieces, and we'll show you how it looks like on the inside. Okay. Pasta and bechamel sauce, and that's how it looks like. Let's dig in there and see how it looks like. Look. Yummy. Alright, we'll see you later in our next video and next recipe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.